where we could be giants, bigger than the walls that hide us.
With 2 Juno nominations and 4 albums, Lights is a rising star in the Canadian music scene. But when she looked for other women to work with, her frustration led her to tweet, "Female producers out there, show me your stuff. SoundCloud, YouTube, whatever. I want to make some music with you."
One of my biggest issues with the industry is the lack of women behind the scenes, and especially women that are given opportunities behind the scenes. In my entire career, I've only ever worked with 1 female producer, and I think that's a shame.
'Cause I have these
Lights wants to see more women behind soundboards, running venues, writing songs, all facets of the industry. It's a push for equality that's also personal.
Now that I have a daughter, I notice what's marketed to young women. I think we need to reevaluate what we market to our kids, create interest and create an understanding of music and of music creation and the tech side of music and a passion for it, and make them realize that that is a career path, because if they don't see it, they don't know that they can be it.
Alyssa Roz is a pioneer in a male-dominated business. She's a live sound technician who ensures bands like Always or the Arkells sound perfect. But a decade ago, she graduated into what she says was a toxic environment.
It was a really hard lesson for the first couple of years. I almost quit just because of the amount of, there's sexual assault, harassment, and just the general assumption that women don't know what we're doing.
To cope, Roz changed who she was.
I lied for a while, and I said I was queerer than I was, and I chopped off my hair and I dyed it dark, and I learned how to be very macho, very butch, and that really helped distance that sexuality from myself in the workplace. And let's bring it all the way up to Unity.
These days, she's more comfortable, whether it's teaching students or spending nights behind the soundboard, where she still surprises technicians from other bands.
So they come in, and a lot of times they've never met a female sound tech before. I'm the first one that they've ever met, and so the assumption is that I don't know what I'm doing because they've never worked with a female sound tech before.
No, just the range, the black note.
But in studios and classrooms, a new wave of women are working to change that.
Yeah, they're on independent right now, so you can just go like this.
At this private media college, the number of women in the audio production program has more than tripled since it began in 1989. They may be entering a mainly male workplace, but they're not intimidated.
I think you just kind of have to work a little bit harder to prove yourself, and that's okay.
Be can I swear?
You can.
Bitch.
Yes.
Be a bitch.
That's okay to, it's okay to be a bitch.
A broad in total control of herself. Nice. And that's it.
the thirsty bird that always drinks the color black.
It took years for Juno nominee Eastquay to take full control of her career. She made a conscious decision to channel her experiences as an Indigenous woman into her art, sometimes at a cost.
I've noticed opportunities pass because of the things that I've said.
While women at this year's Junos only make up 30% of the major categories, Eastquay's encouraged by some changes.
I'm not naive to think that this is going to be an overnight thing. I'm not naive to think that, we're at a state now where we can be taking our hats off and calling the job done. I think that a lot of work needs to happen.
A lot of that work falls on this man. Alan Reid is the head of the Canadian Academy of Recording Arts and Sciences, and he's encouraged by the emergence of new voices.
You can't take away the success of The Weeknd or Shawn Mendes. They've had massive records. And there was a time back in the 90s when Celine and Shania and Alanis and Sarah were dominating the charts. I think there's some amazing females that are out making, watching Alessia Cara, what she's done in the last sort of 2 years, from virtually being unknown, winning Breakthrough Artist at the Junos, and now this year winning at the Grammys. It takes time, but it's all about just, development.
Reid says the hope is with more women being welcomed into the industry, future Junos could see a more equal mix of voices. Eli Glasner, CBC News, Vancouver.